Today is about a concept called mental energetics. Neglecting the self, which begins with the body's basic needs. Yes, this includes strengthening the body. This process of neglect is the person's own narcissistic abuse, as I've said before, stealing the body's mental energetics. The term mental energetics refers to the person's cognitive stamina, motivation, alertness required to perform mental tasks such as focusing, decision-making, and emotional regulation. It is a finite fuel-like resource that dictates the body's ability to think clearly, avoid burnout, and manage stress. I believe that the collective as a whole have and are experiencing a flood of sorts, which I've said before: overstimulation, sinful sensation, mainly through bullying, abuse, and manipulation tactics in relations. Again, which is a cause of confusion. Basically, a disruption of your mental energetics. This lack of harnessing your mental energetics has mass-produced the cluster B personalities. Of course, they aren't going to go get tested. No one's going to know. It's just going to be like a known fact within the people, which I don't even think you guys are even aware of. Unless you go to Walmart every day, or if you go to restaurants every day, and you're in places by repetition, to see people regularly and things like that, you're not going to see what I'm seeing. But a need to outsource is a need for mental energetics. So outsourcing is when a person is in need of help within cognition, mood, and motivation. So this lack of self-practice is what is allowing space for the mind to trickle its way over, and not very slowly, it's done, it's here, into the cluster B personalities. Everyone now is enmeshed and dependent on other for their mental energetics. Allowing and or not allowing toxic relations is our strongest boost to accessing maximum power and or mental energetics. Consistently, this lack is the cause of death. So a lack. Now people out in public are relying on micro-validations from strangers. I believe the esteem of everyone has gotten so low that that is what they needed to do. Along with not having like a consistent program where they practice their mental energetics, to where when they're out in public, they each can, in their own mind and their own body, regulate their system and proceed with responses and clear communication and helpfulness, and avoid some of the other things that I'm going to talk about in this later. So this reliance on strangers that is everywhere now, literally everywhere. Like I have to like sometimes watch people, otherwise they get like emotionally dysregulated. Basically, it's creating narcissism in everyone, because there is no development of the self or self-esteem, and then they're going out in public and they're receiving these micro-validations that they end up relying upon, and then that's then used against them in situations. This is just how everybody operates now, even in traffic. Like, it's so weird to see everybody literally at war in traffic. Like, they're emotionally enmeshed. They're all trying to get in each other's, like, what you would say fantasy, or into their world or whatever. Each mind has like a surface, like, the words I'm looking for. Like, it covers a certain amount of space, right? And they're intertwining with How narcissism is spread. This is how this contagion has spread. It's like you get validation from the outside world, which can be taken away, and then the self is not developed because it's reliant on others' esteem. The self-esteem plummets, and they end up becoming basically a robot, energetically. A neglect of the self's mental energetics is why the need for micro mental energetic surges of power from even strangers. Why everyone relies on help at the gyms now. They have mass-produced learned helplessness through dependency on others' mental energetics. When everyone does this, mental energetic enmeshment begins. I mentioned before how people need attention to feel their sets. Like men will need other, like women, or men, if there's no women, it will be men too, to watch them work out. And they will need support. They'll even act like they need support now just to have the attention of somebody on them. It's an entrained learned helplessness. Well, technically, if they aren't ever actually feeling their sets, it will be powerlessness, a feeling of powerlessness, which breeds hopelessness, which breeds depression. And this is going to be in everybody, adults, children. It runs down the system. There's been many times where, like, a good-looking guy will be giving me attention, and I know that he wants it back, but I don't give my attention out freely, and so he will get upset. And because everyone's hyper attuned to the environment, there'll be females all around watching. Everybody's always watching. Everybody's always watching what's going on with everybody. Well, attractive people, I'd say. Like it's a show. And the women will come in and, like, regulate the man who is taking a hit to his ego. Right? Now, they can say, and I think this is how they're thinking, that this is empathy. Like, they're showing empathy for this guy, and they're, like, supporting this guy. But is that really what it is? Or is it energetic enmeshment? A foregoing of his and her mental energetics. These men were left to exercise their mental energetics. They wouldn't be outsourcing, and they wouldn't be trained into helplessness, which is leading to basically aging, like disability and aging, and then death. To me, this is entrained slavery and a dampering of his character through his ego not being stretched the fuck out. This is an opportunity to exercise his demands, his demons, as well as hers, out of their system. Or sometimes, when I pay some no mind, they even like it, LOL, and give a visual of validation. Like I just won this invisible war that we're in. We were both put in by them. When public power is seen as bullying, like what people see as power is bullying out in public, but power is what is felt by the people. People can feel when somebody walks in and they are full of power, powerful. And it is physically that I'm talking about, but it begins mentally, right? Like your capabilities and what you believe you're capable of, right? So, yeah, the person I was talking about, it's like, if I don't fold, they give props visually. So I get all kinds of micro validations all day long, which in my mind, I turn away. And sometimes outwardly, I will turn it away. I just turn it away. I don't accept it. I don't put it in my pocket most of the time. So I've heard a lot of people say that we have a problem with hyper independence. which I feel it looks to be that way. I feel that people are emotionally independent, meaning they don't care about anybody else's feelings other than their own usually. It's usually one or the other. And most people don't care about, they don't say, oh, how is this person going to feel when I, make them feel like their story's boring in this conversation. They don't think they just don't think. They only care about power plays and who's on top, which is bullying now. So they will yawn and they'll make you feel like your story's boring. They'll look at the clock. They'll look at their watch to make you feel like your story's boring. So when the mind is emotionally, internally rotated, meaning they only think about how they're feeling and they don't care who has to sacrifice themselves to make them feel better. They don't care. This is in training and outsourcing of their mental energetics, causing the drainage of their sources. What can you do for me? Sacrifice yourself so I can feel better about me sacrificing myself, which has become enmeshment. As I was saying, mental energetic enmeshment. So now I have this page I'd like you to see, and I'll read it out loud because I don't know if it's in the screen. So yeah, this is just a diagram, a step-by-step process that you could try to follow. A training of our cognition would basically be like an in-training of our very own personal trainer. The master multitasker, right? In the most stressful moments in time, the most stressful time for the body, and you have this personal training master multitasker in your head. And this is how we train. Everyone knew not to bother me. I carried a presence which was created under the weight, literally. I didn't think about anything other than my body and the inside. I was seeing into the inside of my body every time I would train. That I walk into the room with was built under the weight and in front of the mirror, as I've said before. Rep for rep, rep after rep, year after year. Holidays, no holidays, birthdays, vacations, since I was 16. So I've accumulated power and presence. I've accumulated my presence, which is like, to my mind, the self, meaning no one can take over my mind. I can't even forego my mind anymore. Like, I wouldn't be allowed to if I tried. So we must exercise our mental to physical power through the concept of strength to improve thy mood, which is the spirit of observation versus hypervigilance. The only way I think that people are going to survive is if they entrain specific cues. I mean, everyone has their own cues, but the cues can't stop while you're working out. Like, if your reps are the same rep for rep, year after year like that, you're not studying your cognition. Your focus and attention, which creates your presence, which is where power rests, through the concept of strength. So like emotional regulation during stressful stress sets, or like sets like a rep of something that has a lot of things or steps that you have to cue in to accomplish the rep. People are going to have to start training as if it's their job, as if they're getting paid to do it. as if they want to become a professional bodybuilder. And when I say bodybuilder, I mean like not your typical bodybuilder. Like, to me, anybody who's strength training is a bodybuilder. So I don't mean like a bodybuilder that goes up on stage. I mean somebody who takes it seriously as if they're getting paid to do it. Like, if you're getting paid to do something, you're going to do it to your best ability. And you're going to be present during the whole thing. You're not going to shut off. And I know when you're shut off, when I see someone working out and they're shut off. If your head is hanging down like this, you are shut off. You are in this position because your body is shut off all of the time. This is the manifestation of it. People as a whole are shut off while they're working out unless they are outsourcing and they're attractive. Usually people don't get, like, that's not always true. Most of the women do get attention no matter what. But the more attractive women definitely get, like, sourced the most, obviously. That's the thing though, like, when you're in your youth and you're outsourcing, you're going to age faster than anybody. Your spirit is already dead. Your spirit's dead. Your spirit is your mood. Okay, again, what is it? It's observation versus hypervigilance. Okay? So observation would be discernment and wisdom, and hypervigilance is assumption and accusation. We're supposed to be in training a intensive program into the minds for their training, for people to start to not just survive but thrive. Long story short, so yeah, like, excitement would be in observation. Anxiety would be in hypervigilance. I mean, this is how we focus on getting people to where they want to be in their spirit, in their mood, right? And they stay there consistently by having a specific regimen. Look, this must be implemented, okay? And there's more things, like during the day. I don't know if I got it. I'm outside most of the day. Things like that. Okay, so this was about mental energetics. It's fun.